Okay, if we have the E shape rather from the F, going to the C shape from the F, what do we got? We'd have a C shape. Okay, it's not a bad idea. We're looking at F there now. Now the A shape from the F is B flat now versus key F. All right, so what diatonic we play from that F? If it's a root diatonic, we could play the long pattern, but we don't have to. We play the short pattern diatonically. The E shape pattern goes 7 root 2, and then it goes 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2. Okay, so that's what we could do from there. Yeah, I got to get this straight. You got an S3 and S3D right there. It's a D string shape on the bottom. Warp up the A string shape, and then on top you have the D string shape. C string shape rather. We will verify it. Let's verify that. So, you know, I'm even getting rusty on the short patterns now that I've learned the long patterns. So that's what this chart is about. Okay, and we can do that, and here's the different keys that you would actually be playing these shapes in. And that's kind of no fun. But if you had a capo, okay, I don't have a capo, my kingdom for a capo. But if you did have a capo, what you could do is just put the capo a half, put the capo 1 fret below where you want to play. So instead of, let's say you want to play in the key of G, you wouldn't put the capo on the G. Okay, you would put it on, 1 step below that, so you can get those short patterns as they dip down. So it works for, it's a good way to do things. It really is. But I went ahead and I learned the long patterns anyway. So moving along in the charts, this is me starting out the long patterns, starting to map out the different keys of caged, where we could start the long patterns. Let's say this is your fret nut here, so we could start the E long pattern here, the A long pattern. We would need it, the D long pattern, and we would even need it for the G long pattern. Why? Because if we play an S5G from here, short pattern, right there you can't get that note. The fret nut wouldn't let you get that. You'd be playing this one. Alright, so the G pattern you need a long pattern for, but you don't need it for the C pattern. Okay? Because the C pattern's set up with the tuning warp, the tuning third that brings it up a half step, so that takes it right out of no string, no play, and puts it into the play zone on top. So it's a good thing that the tuning warp is a good thing. So that's what this chart had to do with, and then I had the full modal analysis from chart like 163 or something. So we could look at some of the modes there too. And here's your modal, unraveled modals up here. So there wasn't much to that chart. Now, then I got like fancy, and I wanted to play everything in all open strings. Now, remind you that if you're playing an F Okay, if you're playing an F shape that's a half step above the fret nut, such as me playing down here would be a D flat, a half step above my C, my E shaped C. Okay, let me tune up. Okay, I had my B string was flat. Okay, so if I play a half step above the E shape up here in the D flat zone, all right, then I've got then I'm using open strings to get those previously sunken notes. Okay, so it'd be, I'll tell you when I hit an open string. Open, 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 open. You see, so we're still using the open strings, but different open strings. In this chart, we're actually using the open strings that, you know, in another way. We're using them in another way with the longer patterns here. So I've already done the longer patterns here. So we have, like, we're in the middle of a, now instead of just doing an S4L, getting out of this like this, it goes 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so if you want to learn those, you can, you know, people want to just play different open strings. That's nice. It has a quick little technique to it, you know, a little like tip to it, you know. That's fine. I was looking at this and I was trying to make this easy for you all, and look at, wow, look at these two notes here. What do we do with this? This is part of a longer pattern. So we did that. The 7 root 2 3 4 is pretty much one of these long string shaped patterns, 7 root 2 3 4. Now notice this is a bona fide double string shaped ladder. Every one of the strings in this hypothetical 14 string stack of notes, you know, of double strings. So it's the A shape and then the G shape and the now here actually it's using the long patterns. That's why it looks kind of weird. Using the long patterns, okay, and just including this R for the fun of it, okay, because it goes into a G pattern over there, but it's doubled here, you see. So we really didn't need that R, we didn't need that 4. So in this particular case, this goes away. We don't really need that. And here we got a double R there. Here's a double 3 4. So at best we're going 7 root 2 3 4 there. Down here we have 7 root 2 3 4. This is like pentatonic or something. You know, you can see how the pattern splits there. So that's the name of that chart, and I decided I just want to play away. I just want to play away. I don't want to, if I'm doing this, I want to go. So it really took me right up to the next shape. E goes to D shape. D shape goes to C shape. Okay, all the same. It's supposed to sound the same. It's not a progression. It's the same. It's inversions of the same, and at times the same inversion. You know, so E shape primarily is just an octave below the D shape, but they're both like second inversion. So it's just another version of the chord. So I decided to go with the play away method. All right. So I started making charts about that. So these are the long and short cage patterns here, and this chart kind of evolved into this chart. and this chart evolved and making just improvements as we go along. Then this is the everything.